What's up, YouTube? I haven't made a video like this in a while, so here we are. It's about 5:30 a.m. I just woke up. I'm having some breakfast, but I think this is more important. So this is tier ABC. Here's a tier. Here's ABC. Let's get into the main deck. So first things first, we are playing 3 Sharon, just 2 Merly, and 2 Hotness. This is all we really need for the tier lineup. Sharon being the most important one, it's a level 4. It can empty a piece out of your hand, it's perfect. Hotness, honestly, I want to cut this down to 1, but you kind of do need the names in the deck. Because if you only have 1 Hotness and this gets DD Crowed, you kind of boned. And then 2 Merly, honestly, you can bump up Merly to 3 if you want and play like 3-3-1. That's probably better. But this works out fine just for now. By the way, this is a pre-DABL list. So after DABL, well, I guess DABL's already released. This will probably change it a little bit. Alright, so for our ABC lineup, we have 2A, 2B, 2C, and of course the 1 Union driver. Of course. You don't want to see this for obvious reasons. And as for the 2-2-2 ratio, this is the most units that you can have without losing to stuff like DD Crow, and I guess the Bistio cards now. And, you know, still being able to play ABC. If you only play 1-1-1, you obviously lose to DD Crow, you lose to not milling enough, and they can be even worse bricks. At 3 copies each, they are massive bricks. You never ever want to see a hand of like 2A, 2B, 2 like 1C or 2C going second. That horrible, horrible. So 2-2-2 works, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the ABC lineup. Well, I guess almost it for the ABC lineup. So that's the actual ABC cards. Now we have the non-ABC cards. So only 2 King Regulus. You play 2 Field Spell, which you'll see later. So 2 Therions. This is an extender, it's a negate. There's nothing to hate about this card. If you mill, like, sometimes you're going to not draw a hanger. I mean, you're not going to draw a hanger a lot of times. But if you can mill a Union and you have Therion King Regulus, it don't matter. You just summon the Therion, and boom. You have a negate and a piece on board without your normal summon. The 1 Ibli, this is in the combo. It's also surprisingly a very strong normal summon if it does get to that. So it's not terrible to draw either. And it prevents your opponent from special summoning anything, which is very good in any tier mirror match, or any match that involves special summoning. And of course, now that this is like a thing, to out this card is pretty easy. You just need to summon Lingaribo. But obviously people don't know that yet. Alright, so yeah, the 1 Ibli, and then of course our 1 Turtle. It's a brick, but it's an aqua, so you can shuffle it back with the tier cards. So it's not a horrible brick, but it's not a great brick either. It's still a brick, regardless of any benefits it may have being an aqua, and I guess a water. Alright, so that's the monster lineup. Let's get into the spells. So first off, we have 3 Droplet. Droplet, I used to play Dark Ruler in here, but I realized like Droplet is simply better against matchups like Flu Underease, where Flu Underease typically you don't want to hit their bear statue. That doesn't matter. What matters is the Ryza or whatever they try to summon afterwards. So if you go normal summon, they go Dreaming Town or Map or whatever. Okay, cool. Summon your Ryza, hit Droplet, hit the Ryza and whatever else they may summon. Cool. And hopefully you equip the C to your normal summon. You send the C or whatever. You get the idea. Send what you need to send. And obviously going first, it's also not a dead card because it is indeed a negate. It's not a great negate. You rather have something like, you know, a solemn, obviously going first, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It is still a negate that cannot be responded to in most cases. And before anyone asks, do not try to trigger your tears off of this, because the send is a cost, not an effect. So 3 Droplet for that reason. If you can't afford Droplet, then honestly you just play Dark Ruler or play another extender. That's fine too. Speaking of good cards to play, 3 Foolish Burial Goods. This card is a Rhoda, it is a field spell searcher, and if you play Galaxy Cyclone, which I don't do anymore because I realized it wasn't that great, it is also searchable out to mine. So that's pretty much it for Foolish Goods. It just searches everything. Oh, my cat is... she's having fun over there. Alright, so 3 Union Hanger. It's an ABC deck. You want to see this card. Seeing this card is insane. Like, Obviously, anger is a +2 by itself. Card's nuts. For other field spell, we run the 2 Therion Disco Coliseum. Typically, if you open Hanger plus Disco, you want to use a Hanger first, get your piece out of the deck, and then use Disco Coliseum afterwards, because Disco Coliseum does protect stuff from battle. Your stuff specifically, not your opponent's stuff. So if they try to crash the Ibly and you can't like keep it on the field for a reason, this will not keep it on the field. Do not do that. And of course, it zeroes out Therion King Regulus, which is also pretty nice. And it adds back a Regulus that you spent afterwards if you destroy something, or if your opponent crashes for whatever reason. So that's pretty good. Only 2 because, again, it is an opt. You don't really want to see like a hand of 2 field, 2 Regulus. Or sorry, it's not a hand of 2 field, 2 Regulus. That's very unlikely. But if you play 3 copies of Regulus and 3 copies of Disco, you're more likely to see like 2 Regulus or like a field and Regulus, and that is very not good. It's 5:30 a.m. Sorry, I'm sounding a little bit weird. Okay, so remember I said mine is a problem? Yeah, so this is strictly for mine. If you don't fear Mystic Mine, do not play Cosmic. You can play like literally anything else, any other extender, maybe more names. Speaking of names, so if you've noticed, I do not play Reino Heart in this deck. It's for 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to spend the money on a Reino Heart. 2, you don't really want to be normal summoning a Reino Heart in this deck. You can already make rank 4s, well, a rank 4 pretty easily with the unions or Platinum Guide to Summoning Union. You get the idea. Sharon plus Platinum Summoning Union gets you a rank 4. You don't really need the Reino Heart in most cases. Your removal comes in the form of course, your boy ABC. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Just 2 reactivation. You're probably looking at me asking, why not play this at 3? We run 6 unions, so you don't actually want to see an authorized reactivation too often. If you were playing 7 or more pieces, you definitely play this at 3. But since we're playing only 6, play it at 2. This card can be great against something like Dark Ruler No More, Drop It, whatever. If you don't have the Silic, you still will have everything else negated, but at least your ABC will be spell immune. So you still have your Soul Charge and your Banish, which is great. And of course, for one of's Terraforming, searches every field spell. It's not a copy of Hanger. Instant Fusion, this card shouldn't be legal anymore, but it still is. This makes Kick Kalos, and it says mill 5 cards. Sorry, it doesn't say mill 5 cards, it says add Silic and mill 5. Well, depending on your scenario, you get the idea. Add mill. Very strong. 1 Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is Call by the Grave, you know what it is. 1 set rotation, this is another field spell. It is also an out to Mystic Mine, which is unfortunately very heavy in my locals. That's why we have it here. Yep. And that's pretty much it for the spells. Let's go to the traps. 2 Silic. This lets you play through Dark Ruler. It's good to mill because it becomes Rhoda. There's nothing to hate about this. It also triggers your tears, obviously, so confuse in your opponent's turn. Very good card. And the last card is, of course, the 1 Rainbow Bridge. You use Foolish Goods, like I said before, to mill this. Banish it, add a Crystal Beast, and a field spell. Yeah, I like searching field spells. Who doesn't? So that's pretty much it for the main deck. It is indeed 40. Let's go to the extra deck. So the extra deck, we have only 2 ABC Dragon Buster. I would like to play 3, but honestly, the 3rd Buster has almost never come up. And if it does come up, you can usually just shuffle it back with your boy Dragostapelia. Of course, we also play the 1 Dragostapelia. It's a good fusion. You can make it with Kit Kalos or Garura plus a tier. You know what to do. The 1 Kit Kalos, it's Kit Kalos. If I had more space, I'd probably play 2, just because of how busted this card is. It says add a card or mill a card, and then it says send 5. Okay then. Even my cat likes Kit Kat. Then we have the 1 Garura. Card says draw a card. It's easy to make. It can shuffle back pretty much anything in your deck. Shuffle back, like Kit Kalos or maybe a Dragostapelia, and do it all over again. And of course, the double damage, I've never actually used that effect, but that does come up sometimes too. The 1 Mud Dragon is level 4. It protects your either light or darks. Doesn't really matter which. Pick one. And it also, the main reason you play Mud Dragon, you don't actually need to play it, is to recycle your fusions. If you can get a full cycle, it's because of Mud Dragon, obviously. Alright, so for Xyz monsters, we have Gigantic Sprite. This is how you summon the Ibli, because this card is not fair in any capacity, but it is what it is. It obviously does all in level 2s afterward, but that don't matter because you have your Buster and your other stuff out already. So that's a 1 Gigantic. And the other Xyz you want is Abyss Dweller. Obviously, Dweller is just an auto win in the tier mirror match, so play Dweller. There's no reason not to. For our Link 2s, we have Platinum Gadget, Staple, and ABC. I hate this card, but I love this card. In this deck, it's actually not bad because of Gigantic Summoning Condition, so it's not terrible to keep on the field because you can actually use it. Normally, it would suck in ABC because you're stuck with a Platinum. Then the IP, again, another ABC staple. You can go into Apollo on your opponent's turn if you really want to, but in this deck, we do something a little bit more funny. We don't really go into Apollo. You'll see soon enough. These are the 2 ABC staples, of course. Then we have Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf will allow you to bring back any Link 2, level 2, whatever, so you can like Merlin on your opponent's turn. You can summon IP back. No, cat, do not open that door. Okay, my cat's trying to open a door. It's fine. She can't open it regardless. So the Elf revives pretty much anything that's level 2, rank 2, whatever. And it prevents your ABC or IP or whatever you have underneath it from being targeted. So if you're able to actually, sometimes you're able to make Apollo underneath this, and that's like, whew, try imperming that. You can't imperm it. Can't imperm, you can't target it, so we're good. Alright, then we have Barricade Borg. Barricade is really just a consistency piece, if anything. If you open something like Bridge, you can discard the Bridge and get a field spell. My kitty is... okay, I guess she goes inside the door. So yeah, you discard anything you don't want in your hand. So unions, deck cards, maybe like... I doubt there's a scenario where you'd want to send a tier. Oh, actually there is one scenario where you want to send a tier. Say you want to send a Merly to make... say you normal summon, you want to send Merly. You have another piece on the field, you can link these 2 into Platinum. Special with Therion, special again, then like make Elf at some point. Survive the Merly, mill 3 cards. I'm trying to make up a scenario here, but I can't. I know it has come up in the past. Point is, you can ditch whatever you need to the graveyard that's better in the graveyard, and then use the effect there. And of course, it does add you a field spell back on the end phase if that comes up. I mean, it does come up sometimes if you mill a field spell. It's just nice to have free fodder or free follow for the next turn. So yeah, 1 Barricade. It's actually more important than you think it is. For our Link 3s, we have the 1 Unicorn. If you notice, we're not playing Phoenix because I was playing Phoenix and I realized like whenever I need Phoenix, I'm usually playing against like 2 or 3 Floodgates anyway. So Unicorn is just better. Unicorn is basically just a better Phoenix. If you want to remove 1 card, you can. Unicorn is there for you. So there you go, Unicorn. And I guess you can also make this off of IP if you need to, but you're really not going to do that most of the time because most of the time, if you open full combo, you're going to make your boy Boral Sword. So Boral Sword serves 1 purpose, well, 2 purposes, I suppose. The first purpose is this thing puts Ibli back to defense. So if your opponent tries to flip Ibli to attack position, go to battle phase, you go IP, effect, summon this boy. Okay, defense, cool. There you go. And then you can kill your opponent on the subsequent turn. That's why we don't play Access Code. Also, I don't play Access Code because I don't got the money for it. But that's a different story. And of course, the 1 Apollo. If you have a Roll Colossus, you could honestly play Roll Colossus instead of Apollo here because they essentially do the same thing, which is knock loose Nibiru or some other weird monster effect that summons itself. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But for now, like Apollo's, it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck and the extra deck. So let's go into a combo. So for the combo, we are going to need, this is like a very, very basic 2-card combo. We're going to grab 1 copy of Unit Hanger. There, like that. And we will grab a Therion King Regulus if I can find him. Okay, so this right here will get you a pretty nice board. So here's our 2 cards. Let's go activate the Unit Hanger. Hopefully you can see it. We'll go ahead and search a B. There it is, B. We're gonna normal summon this B out. We're gonna go ahead and equip the driver if I can find it. There you are. Equip the driver, use the driver's effect to banish this copy of itself, and equip either B or C, doesn't really matter which. We're going to go ahead and get the A, special the A. Now here you can actually chain block, but for the sake of this combo, we're not going to. And regardless, if someone was going to ash you, they're probably going to ash you on the hanger. That's usually what people do. So we're going to go ahead and summon Platinum Gadget here. Let's put our graveyard right here, I suppose. So summon Platinum Gadget. There we go. Use the effect of the B in the graveyard. We will go ahead and search a copy of Sea Crush Wyvern. So this is where summoning something like... This is where your opponent would have to imperm early, because now you have King Regulus on the board soon. Go ahead and use the effect of the King Regulus. Summon it underneath the Platinum, or basically not anywhere here. Summon it like here, here, or here, and you're good. You're going to target the B, and you're going to equip the B Buster Drake onto that. Cool. So now we're going to use the effect of the B, summon itself, and we're going to special the C off a Platinum Gadget. There you go. We can make ABC now, but we're not going to do that just yet. First things first, let's link away these two into an IP Mask Arena. Yep, so summon it anywhere here, doesn't really matter. Use the effect of B, we will search any union. Typically you want to search another copy of B. If you don't have Dark Ruler, if you do have Dark Ruler, then search the other two. Or not Dark Ruler, sorry, Unauthorized Reactivation. So we'll just search B because we don't have reactivation on us right now. Now normally here is where you would end your combo, right? You would just make your ABC. So we'll actually go make the ABC first. Summon ABC by banishing 1, 2, and 3. These 3. Cool. So normally this would be your end board, right? Wrong. Now go ahead and overlay these 2. So this is where it is a bit more risky, but with great risk comes great reward. So make Gigantic, use Gigantic's effect here, because we did use 2 Link 2s, and that's what Gigantic requires. Detach any of these, doesn't really matter, we'll just detach IP for now. And remember, now you're protected from Bisted cards too. If they decide to Bisted something, they can't do it now. They had to do it earlier. Here we're going to go ahead and summon the Ibly from the deck. There you go, summon the Ibly. So now we can only summon Links, which doesn't matter because we're going to do that right away. Let's go ahead and link these 2 off. Summon your Sprite Elf. This is why zone placement matters a tiny bit in this deck, because now we have these zones open. So now we're going to use the effect of the Ibly to give it to our opponent. So there it is, given to our opponent. They can't special summon anymore except by Link. And because our opponent controls a monster now, we can use the Elf effect, targeting the IP in the graveyard, summon it right back, and that is now your end board. And I guess you would have, like, I don't know, 3 other cards in hand. So you have 4 cards in hand, one of them being a B Buster Drake. You have an Omni Negate, Banish, a Sprite Elf to revive another target, I suppose, for IP, and you have an IP, of course. And then you can Elf effect on their turn, summon whatever they try to swing, you IP before that happens. Now, obviously, if they summon a monster first, you should Buster Tag on instead, because then you get to keep the Elf. But if they do this first, and you're kind of forced to do this, link it away into Boral Sword, use the sword effect, put this back to defense, and then anything else they summon at this point you banish. Now there is a few ways to obviously break this. One of them is Forbidden Droplets, send this away, which is unfortunate. Another, which I mentioned at the start of the video, is Lingaribo, or like Balinks, or any other monster of that nature. And I believe Triple Tactics Talents does also out this board. Because you could just, assuming that we triple tactic, my opponent triple tactic me, he'll probably take the ABC. If he's smart, he takes the ABC, takes this, and then links it away. But obviously, you're there in King Regulus, so you can stop that. So just play your cards right, and you should be able to win. This is without any tier card. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much it for the combo and the deck. I suppose we can do a quick test hand. So let's go do that. I won't play the test hand out because, as everyone knows, tier turns can take a very, very long time. And I do mean a very, very long time. So let's just give that a nice shuffle. Hell, I remember this one game I played like a tier mirror match. It took us like 20 minutes for game one. It was not even 20 minutes, like 25 to 30 minutes. It was insane. Thankfully, game two game two went by pretty quickly. And game three, I just Ibly locked to do, so we're good. Ibly is extremely good if people are not prepared for it. And typically people are not playing Droplet anymore, so or rather people are still playing Droplet, just not as much Droplet as before. Okay, cool. So we'll give this a nice cut. And of course I'm not gonna actually play this hand out because okay, yeah, we are not playing this hand out. This hand is Jesus Christ, this hand is nice. This hand is like the best hand you could ask for, honestly. Oh my lord, that hand is cracked. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, this is why I don't play out test hands, because this will take at least 15 minutes to do at this angle. But yeah, there you go. So if you like the deck, let me know in the comments down below. If there's anything I can improve on, let me know as well. Such as like new DABL cards. I don't have them currently. That's why there's no DABL cards in here. I simply do not buy any. But if there's a DABL card I should be putting in this deck, please let me know. Alright, thank you. If you like the video, or if you like the deck profile, please subscribe, comment, and like the video. See you next time. Later.